Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MTMV Live Sports Show. We have an amazing show today. We have a lot to talk about. We have WNBA draft, we have the NFL news, and we have fight nights with the man, the voice. So let's get to it, and we'll have a great show. Again, good evening, everyone. We're starting off the show with Ladies on Top, talking about what team?
The WNBA draft.
Yes.
Yes,
Monday
yes,
was
yes.
the 2022 WNBA draft. And I know my girl C and I were both glued to that TV watching to see who is going to what team. You know, I'm a New York girl, so my Liberty, I was paying attention. I want to see how we can bounce back. But see, I know you are the WNBA queen, honey. So I need you to tell me which teams do you think got much better?
Well, first, I want to send our love and prayers over to BG. You know, it wouldn't be a WNBA without her.
Yes.
And for this WNBA draft, I would say the Indiana Fever definitely did what they wanted to by rebuilding. I don't even know where to begin. They got the number 2 pick, 4 picks altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So they got number 2. Melissa Smith, she's a champion. She can defend. She can create her own shot. Then we have my girl Henny. I have to talk, even though she went 20th. But she came out there looking like a bag of money.
What? Money.
Did you see her fit though? Man,
I was like, can I pull off that blue? I don't know if I can. I'm pretty cool.
You know what the custom-made sneakers?
Oh, she would fly. That's what I'm talking about.
So I just think that type of energy with her game to the Indiana Fever. They also got Lexi Ho. What? She went 6. I was so shocked. I screamed at the top of my lungs because I was not expecting Lexi Ho to go 6. No way. Like, tell me, you wasn't shocked? Did you really think I thought she was going to go like in the 3rd round, to be honest. I didn't think she was going to go 6. I thought she was
up pretty early. I was like, okay, did y'all see something we didn't see? But okay, hey.
I mean, she's feisty. She can defend. She can shoot behind the arc. I mean, so I get it, but I just wasn't over what was still left. I was
what was still there. I was pretty shocked. I was like, okay, they must saw something that we didn't see.
What was I would say, the biggest moment for you?
Besides the drip, I would say I like that they took the time to address Brittany Griner. I like, because everybody stopped talking about the situation. The whole draft itself, I was there from start to finish, just sitting there like, I liked how smoothly everything ran. As someone who watches the NBA draft and the NFL draft, everything's choppy. There's a lot of different movements, but I like that because that's us. We do get in, get out. I loved how smooth that was. The transitions were great. I like Naira for the Liberty, so I'm excited about that. I can't wait to see her play. And I can't wait to see, hopefully, a healthy Sabrina come back so that I can really get see
then you have Stephanie Dawson. Yes. And then you have Dee Dee Richards, you have Natasha Howard, you still have Benijah Laney. So like each squad, Atlanta Dream with the number 1 draft pick, Ryan Howard, and Naz Hillman over with Erica Wheeler, Monique Billings. It's I don't know, but the Fever definitely stole this WNBA draft.
Fever stole the show. You're
definitely
right.
Stole the show.
Which team do you think made bad moves?
I don't think any team was a bad move because everyone picked a team to make their roster 100% better.
Facts.
Every team picked a player to make their squad 100% better, and a team that can contend and win a championship.
I believe that each team took the time to build their team to the draft and add more pieces that are necessary. So I don't see a team making a bad move. I think everybody made pretty decent moves to improve their teams. But I can't say the word bad because we don't know until we see the transfer over from college to the pros. That's when we can actually make a decision later on in the season if a move was bad. But no, I think based off of what we saw on their collegiate level, I think these ladies are ready for the big stage. So I'm ready. I can't wait to see how this season goes. And we already know which players stole the headlines. We already made it. We already know what it is. But I want to know who you think it is. If can
Henny.
be on the same page. Okay, so we're on the same page. Henny did that
I
part.
mean, just from, I mean, there were so many people that looked nice though, because Emily Inter looked, that black suit was shining. She looked tough. Shakira was, her energy she brought, she stayed 100% to who she was. She
Mm-hmm.
looked nice. And shout out to Amisha Williams Holiday. She was from Jackson State, a
Mm-hmm.
HBCU,
Hey, on HBCU in the
hasn't
house.
drafted a WNBA player in
Yes,
20 years. So, shot,
shout out
that's
to
for
you,
you guys.
sis.
I was, oh wow, I was like, I know that's right. So, we're getting the recognition, excuse me, that we need.
Yes, and we now seeing HBCUs get their names on these platforms as well. That was huge to me. That was exciting to me. Besides, our girl Henny with the amazing drip. Again, all the ladies looked really pretty. All of them came and showed out, and that's what I like to see. You don't see it as often in a draft. Everybody come dripped out and looking good. And again, it's a big day for these kids. So I'm gonna call them kids because they're younger than me, but like for these kids. But that wasn't necessary. That I think it was necessary to see clean cut women of all different kinds, and that was dope to see. That stole the headline for me. Just how everybody looked. Besides, our girl came and did that, but like that was big to me. So overall, how do you feel about the WNBA draft? Do you feel like we're moving in the right direction, or do you feel like there still need to be improvements?
I think there still needs to be improvement. I know it comes with more money and more sponsors, but the fact that some winners that won that was not there, like, that shouldn't happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even if you know they win, have them backstage or something. I know, like, the funding, and you only can invite so many people to the WNBA draft, but it's just like, I want to be like she Lexi said, she felt snubbed not to be invited, and then she goes six. So it's just like everyone should be having that moment of being invited, even if you don't get drafted, but just to be there. So I think that's a step in a direction that we need to have, because the men's definitely not like
Oh no, everybody's there.
that.
They could be sitting there just all like all the weekend and be fine. But yeah, I
Hmm.
agree with you. I definitely think there needs more funding put in so that they can have a bigger area so they can host a bigger draft. Because the if you saw like the room itself, like the ballroom itself, wasn't that large. I think they need to definitely find more space so that they can have more athletes come in and get, like you said, have their name called and be on that big stage. That's their moment. The draft is their moment. So I do think that they gotta be put more money towards that. Again, we need more sponsoring, and we need, our NBA brothers to help out. Them
Definitely do.
those contracts be deep. You can donate a few. A
Tom
few
Brady, since you're calling WNBA draftees
okay.
after the game, after you know them getting drafted, and you're telling them congratulations, that's dope. You got called by the GOAT, Miss Burton. But don't now donate some money. Okay. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yes. Yes. Put some money behind those calls. Let's make some more actions happen. Okay. I agree with you 100%. And my last question about WNBA draft. Do you think we need more reporters there? Because there was a lot of women there reporting. I know Renee Washington was there reporting. I know a few other people that close to my circle that were there. Do you think we need more reporters or we need better reporters? Because some people were not feeling the young lady who was talking to the draftees after they were picked. How do you feel about that?
Just some of the things she would mention, like, oh, when you wasn't invited here before, like, you, what are you doing? Well, you don't need to
Mm-hmm.
say what they didn't do. They're here now. It's the moment now. I just, yes, more people definitely need to be covering. We need to be covering. So I
No,
feel
that's
as though they should open up to, the whole process as any other tournament or any to just give the opportunity because you guys want to grow your sport, the organization, women's basketball in general. Why not bring other media? Just because they're not major, it doesn't matter. Just get your name out there regardless. So I think that it should be more media, and even more men, not just women media,
Yes.
media as well, because they carry a lot of fan base behind them. So bring y'all to the women's side, just like we have our phenomenal women on the men's side. We need, our men to come over to the women's side and start reporting more, be at more events.
I agree with you 100% because we see Stephen A. Smith at every NBA draft, at every NBA game, pretty much. Stephen A., how about you come to WNBA draft and do some reporting there? Show your ladies some love because you love the ladies too. And
Right.
when we come back, we're going to have the full 94 podcast on here, giving us some of that NBA action, and we'll be right back.
Boy, first out, that was too dope. That was too dope. Ooh.
Hey, bro.
What's going on, family? Full 94 in full effect. How you feeling?
Hey, we back together again, guys.
Hey, man.
Look at us.
Hey, man, you start working so hard and get on the podcast. We got to worry about that. You know what I mean? I respect the hustle, respect the grind, brother. Hey, look. It is real. It is upon us. The playoffs are here, and the play-in tournament has started. First, let's identify what the play-in tournament is. 7, 8, 9th, and 10th place teams play each other for those 2 remaining spots. 7th place plays 8th place for 7th. Loser of that game plays the winner of the 9 and 10 for 8th place. I know it can be confusing. Slow it down, rewind to do what you got to do, but that is what the play-in tournament is. My question to you, are you excited about the play-in tournament, and do you still like the idea? Knowing we're only in the second year of it, right? Still understanding it. Last year we had, is it third year? Third year, I think last year we didn't. I thought it was Bron and Steph last year.
No, so we're in the third year of it because I think they implemented just a little bit in the bubble time. So we're in the third year of it.
You might be correct. You might be correct. So, I love the idea. I love how it is played. Do you still like the idea, and do you like the excitement that it brings with those 4 teams playing each other for those last 2 spots? Talk to me. I'm going to skip on Connie because he's shaking his head. I want you to get your thoughts together. See, tell me how you feel about the play-in tournament.
Of course. Because, yes, I do.
Okay.
You have to compete more. In the playoffs, you already have an edge on your shoulder. So if you really want to get into the playoffs, you're going to win these games. And all year round, we get boring games. So this is where actually NBA starts for me because I get to see the hunger, the grit, and not careless fouls, you know, more basketball being played. You know, LaMelo lost tonight, right? He didn't really have a good game.
To them Hawks, my boy. Hey, got put on their head. 29, boy. Oh, Lord Jesus. And the Trey, Mr. LaMelo, man. Ain't you a ball man? Oh, Lord Jesus.
That's why he said it.
Talk to me, Connie. Why do you feel the way that you feel about the play-in tournament? Tell me why.
Because the play-in tournament is something that if we had more teams, we only got 30 teams. Say if we get 4 more markets, then play-in tournament will make sense. But we don't have the 4 additional markets. 4 markets that I think we should bring in: Seattle, another one, probably somewhere in Grand Rapids, and then
I like Seattle.
And then we get Jacksonville on board, and then let's go ahead and mix it up a little bit.
Jacksonville?
Let's get Jacksonville, and then let's mix it up. Let's mix it up just a little bit.
We already got 3 teams down there,
and let's get a Hawaii team. This way, we'll have more markets. we'll have more markets and more places for these 4 players to go to, because clearly we're starting to see a surge of players coming up. Now, what does this have to do with the play-in tournament? I'm glad you asked. Look, you go ahead and get these teams. Oh, well, thank you for asking anyway. You get these teams in here, right? And once you get these teams in here, like, yo, man, we can do the play-in tournament, one and done. Boom. Hey, first round, and instead of it going to 7-game series, let's make the first round another one and done. And then the second round, we'll start off with the 7-game series. That way, boom, boy, we be in there.
But what you're asking is what you get in the play-in tournament.
No, yeah. But here's the thing about the play-in tournament that I just cannot ride with.
Talk to me.
It's, you know what I'm saying, you know, if you know for sure you want to put in that 8th seed in there, bro, put the 8th seed in there. You know what I'm saying? If you know for sure you want the 8th seed to be in there, put the 8th seed in there. You know what I mean?
Are you talking to the politics of the NBA?
Yes, to the politics of the NBA. If you know
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're talking about these games are fixed.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know,
Did
for
you
sure you want the guy in there, get the guy in there.
Did you watch the season?
Leave it to Connie to bring up conspiracy theories about the NBA on Full 94.
So we had 2 playing games.
Okay, so
we
tell
had
me,
2 playing games yesterday.
Yeah. So great rappers, they have a G League team. Thank you, voice. This is what I'm thinking. Now, my question to you at this point: what matchups are you excited about? I loved seeing Trey go up against LaMelo tonight, and Trey put a hurting on their head. The Hawks, I mean, just went crazy in the third quarter. But does that look like? Like Cleveland and Brooklyn, I was not excited for.
Me too, but I was excited about the Clippers and Minnesota. That game was
Pat Bev was putting marks on his head, boy.
A nuisance. Yeah. I could not deal with. That's why I don't play basketball, because I could not deal with, like, get out of my face, move away from me.
Big facts. Facts.
That's what he was doing all game. But that's what Pat Bev does.
Shout out to Pat Bev. So here's the thing. Shout out to Pat Bev, because
Herta was balling. It was a team win tonight with the Atlanta Hawks, because everyone at halftime probably was about in double figures. It was,
bro. Let's shout out Pat Bev real quick, because what a lot of people don't know.
That's a big
Pat
fact.
Bev,
okay, let's just to briefly talk to Will's comment. The Wolves won a championship last night and told nobody. It's been a while since they've been successful. They are celebrating the ride right now, and I'm not mad at them. I'm not. I like Cat. I like D.
They Clippers went on a run.
Anthony
every time. I love it. It was a great win. Even with Anthony having a terrible game.
Yeah.
Towns, Karl Anthony Towns,
Yeah, Ty Lue's not a good coach.
I love what they're doing and how they're doing. I'm excited about it because it's something that we get to see differently at the end of a season. And for 4 teams fighting for 2 spots, you kind of get that March Madness type of feel. Yes. You know what I mean? And that's what I like when people come to it. KD came into the game last night and was.
So you gonna call it
work? You see
April chaos
jumper? Like what? Oh man, it's so effortless.
Yo, Kyrie was in his bag yesterday. Definitely in his bag. What'd you say, Connie?
You gonna call it April chaos?
Hey, I'm cool with that. I like it.
I like it.
It's 4 days. It's 4 days worth, and you run right into the playoffs this weekend. So I am excited. I understand that Brooklyn's going to come in the 7th spot, and you're going to see they're going against the Celtics. Atlanta just put a hurting on Hornets, so they're going to be playing for the 8th spot. I'm ready for the playoffs. Even though my boys ain't in it, I'm ready for the playoffs. I want to see. I'm ready to see what's going to happen because we know the NBA playoffs. It gets hard, it gets crazy, and people play for real. So I'm excited about it. You got to be excited about it, bro.
And before we go, like I said, I need to give a shout out to Patrick Beverly. So one thing that a lot of people don't know, he started overseas before he came over.
A big fact
to the NBA. So his journey was a big one. It was a big one. So we always talk about he Black Air Force energy and all that. You know what? He deserves it. You deserve to be
you gotta be
Air Force Man of the Year.
You gotta be. You want more of this? You want more of this every Saturday, 10 a.m. Come check us out. Full 94 here on MTMV Sports. Peace.
Yeah, they said my T I hit with a cheat sheet, dog. Hit 100 when I press it. Promise you don't really wanna see these bars. Watch out, you might get arrested. Me, my OG used to hoop on Lee Street, dog, till they started moving reckless. I can't verify unless you verify your homie. Please start asking for my blessing. Until everybody in the street see God, I can't stop until invested. Police out here killing unarmed preteen law. Why they gotta shoot pedestrians? It's too much estrogen. Abusing weapons, they don't do no questioning. Just pew, pew, pew. Too aggressive, you too excessive. Should've stay home if you was stressing. Just another RP in the group. Messages out of bounds back from a few. Deficits, Father God made me new. It's evident you don't play your part. Then we finna have to part. Cause you know the light and dark don't do. Togetherness told the old me to get a new. Residents keep the fanny clothes on do. Pessimists lead the beast. Started I done seen the deep water by the DOT. Walking in the New Testament. Murder, killing, hurting children, burning, building churches, stealing, worse intentions, turn the villain, cursing women, circle sinning, blurry vision, serving sentences, the serpent hissing, listen, Percocets and purses, purpose missing. If you hurt conviction, but you out here doing it, and that's what you want, don't hit my phone, cause I don't want nothing to do with it.
What's happening, good people? This is Will T, back with the curator of MTMV Combat Sports, The Voice. How you feeling, good sir? You on mute, sir. Voice, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm unmuted now. It's your man, the myth, the legend, the voice. You know, I had to create a little bit of dramatic pause there so that my entrance will be a grand one.
It's always a knockout, good brother. We got a lot to talk about, man. This is a championship edition almost. So let's go ahead and get into it. Bellator 277 this Friday in the SAP Center in San Jose. We got a double championship main event. Looks like we got AJ McKee and Patricio Pitbull for the featherweight championship, and then also the finals of the Bellator light heavyweight World Grand Prix tournament. Tell us what you got and who you got.
Oh man, I had a chance to talk with a number of the fighters today in the press conference, and Pitbull, he really is looking to get vengeance. AJ took the belt from him, and he's like, look, I don't care about the belt. I want my revenge. And he is very, very driven. However, he's only had 8 months, and that's not a lot of time to fix your game when you're coming in against a young lion like AJ McKee, who destroyed Pitbull in the first fight. I mean, I don't know that the fight went, a full 3 minutes or so. He got in there, hurt him, got the rear naked choke. It was done. AJ saying, okay, it'll go to the second round this time because he won't be as emotional as he was last time. And admittedly, somewhat admittedly, Pitbull was like, yeah, I'm going to be cool this go round. If you're cool this time, it means you were emotional last time, even though he didn't want to say that. AJ is on a golden odyssey. He said, look, I want belts in Rising. I want belts in UFC. I want it all. And I'm trying to go 50-0 like Mayweather. Back in the day, the millennials wanted to be like Mikey. Like, I want to be like Money. I want $100 million. That's the goal. Preserving the O. For Pitbull, it's a family affair. His brother got called out by AJ on Monday. Made Pitbull even madder, and then his son dropped about 30 push-ups in the press conference today. So it was a family affair. Now for Vadim Nemkov, who is the Bellator champ at light heavyweight, has been that champ for about 2 years now. He is from Russia, lives in Russia, just got done getting a master's degree at a state college in Russia. I asked him about the war that was going on, and he said that it has made him very emotional. Like, he can't watch the news, and that's something that the headliner of the last Bellator fight said, that he could not watch the news either because of everything going on in Hungary, but now everything going on in Russia, in his country. He said he can't watch the news. It's made him very emotional. It has not impacted his training camp, though. So, like, he hasn't had to move camp or hasn't lost any training partners due to the war efforts, but it definitely is not a comfortable thing for him. How that will impact him in the fighting and his ability to compartmentalize, we'll see on Friday. Corey Anderson is on a mission to achieve crowning glory. He feels if he's the best in the world. He beat the last 2 UFC champions. So if he wins on Friday, he probably is the best. Likewise, if Adeem beats him, then he's probably the best in the world at light heavyweight. Corey flew in a couple of the coaches from Lincoln Community College, where he really got his start. They recently shut the school down, so he was really emotional about that too. So you got two fighters going in that are going to have to deal with some of the emotions. Since losing to Johnny Walker in his last UFC bout, though, he said this is a business. I wanted to know what he meant by that. And he said that the UFC told him he needs to be more exciting. When he did that, he got sloppy, he got caught. For him, business is just being himself. I asked him what his coaches have been saying. Said same thing. Be yourself. That's the name of the game. Take people down, ground and pound. UFC might not have thought it was exciting, but it's been pretty exciting in Bellator.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be a big fight. Not only is there a light heavyweight world championship on the line, but there's $1 million purse.
Yes, sir.
Both of them are fighting for. So it really might be about business.
Yeah, it's all about business. Corey said the only thing he's upset about is that their fight is the co-main and not the main event. Hey, Nikki. But if it was a main event, then he'd be able to get the champagne and the confetti. So if he wins, I'm definitely gonna ask him. Are we changing our nickname Champagne and Confetti now from Overtime? We'll see.
Well, I mean, it's definitely gonna be something to look forward to. But moving from one combat sport to another, the unbeaten WBC and IBF welterweight world champion Errol Spencer is going to be in a title unification match with Yordenis Ugas.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be on April 16th. Unification showdown at AT&T Stadium. Now, ESPN is actually dubbing this the potential king of the welterweight bouts. Although I believe Thurman might have something to say about that, because there's been a lot of back and forth about who should actually be in this bout. So what do you think about all that?
Well, the only person who would have claim to that title, or I should say, should have anything to say about that, is not Keith Thurman, but it's probably who Keith Thurman's going to fight next, which is my man Bud Crawford, because that's the fight that should happen. Now, Spence came out recently and said, "Hey, look, my main goal is to keep looking great and keep winning." And I get that, because it's prize fighting. And every time he wins a prize. But everyone wants to know what will happen if he got in there with Crawford. He didn't say, "I'm looking to be the best." He said, I want to look good and I want to keep winning. There's no reason that he shouldn't be fighting Crawford right now. Now, supposedly he's doing this for unification. Okay, that is accurate and that's valid. You are getting a belt for this fight with Ugas, a man who was last beat by the last person but person before last that you beat in Porter, who lost to you and got stopped by Terrence Crawford. Stopped so bad, all you did was shook your head and walked out of the stadium. So, anyway, that's the fight that all of the fight world wants to see. And I just hope they don't wait too late to make it.
Well, I mean, Spence has been waiting a while. I know originally he was actually supposed to have the Pacquiao fight before he had to have surgery. And I think the big thing right now between him and Ugas is the fact that Ugas actually got the fight that Spence won with Pacquiao, correct?
No, he did. He beat him handily. That would have been a crowning achievement for Spence. But now it's Ugas' crowning achievement. And really what it says is Pacquiao was a wash, really wash. So, we'll see how things go. I don't expect it to be a competitive fight. I will be pleasantly surprised if it is. But Ugas, to me, is just not that dude.
Okay, sounds like you're taking Spence.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else you got for us today, boys?
That's about it. I would say that I'll say the UFC does have a card this week as well. Luque and Bilal Muhammad will be fighting on that. But I'm looking forward to the Bellator card. That's the card of the week, and I've wrote an article about it yesterday. So go to mtmvpn.com and you can read all about it.
Definitely looking forward to that article and looking forward to the fights this week. Thank you, Voice, for another great week of fight updates. MTMV Sports.
It's your boy Mike T. Hey. From the 304 to the tray 4. You already know. Moonwalk back, cause you lost me. You like AI, I'm like MJ, cause you crossed me. Got me slipping, you could say you really must me. It's the cold world, like we living on a rusty. Moonwalk back, cause you lost me. You like AI, I'm like MJ, cause you crossed me. Got me slipping, you could say you really must me. It's the cold world, like we living on a rusty. Moonwalk, mic check, tell him beat it. You the one I never needed. You the type who I deleted. Stepped in the back, I was bleeding. Down on my knees, I was pleading. Lord, help me out, cause this work got me feeling anemic. Too cold, grab your clothes below zero. You know, I took the holy road, I had to let you go. Turn around to the do-si-do. I don't need that in my life no more. Baby, like me, how you know? Cause the Holy Ghost just told me so. Now move, walk back, cause you lost me. You like AI, I'm like MJ, cause you crossed me. Got me slipping, you can say you really must me. It's a cold world, like we living on a rusty. Move, walk back, cause you lost me. You like AI, I'm like MJ, cause you crossed me. Got me slipping, you can say you really must me. It's a cold world, like we living on a rusty.
Hey everybody, we're back and we are talking about the NFL. You had the NBA, you had the WNBA, you had fight night. But now it's me and Rick talking about some good old pigskin. You ready, Rick?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So we're talking about football. We want to take a second to just honor the life of the young Dwayne Haskins on April 9th, 2022. Dwayne Haskins was hit by a truck and unfortunately killed on the scene at the age of 24. Dwayne Haskins was a very sweet man, very well known in the Maryland community. He went to Bulls School, which is in Potomac, Maryland. His nickname was Simba since he was a child. That was Lion King, one of his favorite movies, and he is someone beloved in the DMV area. Haskins went to Ohio State. He was a star quarterback once he got to play. He played for Ohio State. He had 147 rushing yards and 2,804 passing yards. He set some Big Ten records while he was there. He was drafted in the first round of the 2018 draft. He was the number 15 pick. And at this moment, we wanted to just say our hearts and our prayers go out to the Haskins family and his beautiful wife. And we're so sorry for his devastating loss.
Yeah. I appreciate you diving into that, Nora. So, he was down in South Florida training with the Steelers, ahead of the 2022 season. He was doing his best to get ready, I guess, to compete with Mr. Trubisky to take over that starting job. And from my standpoint, I feel like he had a good shot, right? I feel I was going to be rooting for him this offseason to go ahead and overtake Mr. Trubisky. I know Trubisky's coming in as a, prize signing, a free agent, right, coming from Buffalo. But for me, I was thinking, I was hoping that he could, really, really fight for that spot. So it's he's so young and it's truly unfortunate. We're going to talk. I know we're talking about Adam Schefter, and I know that's kind of where we're about to head to get into that conversation. So when you saw, Adam Schefter, he tweeted out, right? He tweeted out this. Dwayne Haskins, a standout at Ohio State before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL, died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida, per his agent Cedric Saunders. Schefter wrote that, as the first person to report, the loss of Dwayne Haskins. When you first saw the tweet, Nora, what would you feel?
I was disgusted because Adam Scheffler did not have to talk about his shortcomings. A young man died. So why are we going straight to something negative, especially if somebody that is prominent in his community has already immersed himself in the Pittsburgh community? Adam Scheffler actually knew that information. And instead of starting off with this young man from originally from New Jersey that grew up in Maryland, has passed away. We went to struggling quarterbacks, talk about his career. His career has nothing to do with the person he is, and it was a short-lived career. And I felt like Adam Scheffler, being someone in media, our job is to, yes, of course, report the facts. However, we also are human beings, and we must also take the time to let people feel something. And that was something with Adam Scheffler, was quick to just get out the news and not quick to actually dig into his humanity side, which is why he had to double back on it and delete the said tweet and then retweet out the same information again because he knew that was wrong. We all know that if that was Tom Brady, it would not be that way. And not to do with race or anything like that. It's just because of respect. And I don't think Adam Scheffler thought of, since Dwayne Haskins' career was not looked at as a success from his point of view, it wasn't given the courtesy of being presented that way on his untimely death.
Now, don't judge me is the way I'm going to start this statement, right? So that's what I'll say. Can I have that agreement from you, Nora, that I won't be judged during the segment?
It's a judgment-free zone.
All right, good. Initially, when I saw the tweet and I saw the uproar, I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite understand it. Only because I understand that whenever you're consistently, trying to push out information, especially when it's time for you to kind of work with the character that you have on Twitter, right? And you're in a struggle to, I guess, get the information out there. Sometimes you can make mistakes. And I saw this as an immediate mistake that would be, something that would, be apologized for and then, go away, right? I didn't think that it was something to crucify Adam for, right? And I know Adam Schefter doesn't need me or anybody else to defend him, so I'm not doing that. I just didn't think. I didn't think at that moment that we would immediately crucify Adam Schefter for what he said. Now, you said, you're right. He went back and said, yo, I was wrong for that, right? And he apologized. And so he said it was insensitive, it was a mistake, and I can assure you it's not my intention, right? I wish I could have taken that tweet back. The focus should have been on Dwayne, who was a person, a husband, a friend, and so much more. I want to apologize to Dwayne's family, his friends, and the players in the National Football League, and offer my condolences to everyone close to Dwayne. Now, when I first saw the tweet and I saw the uproar, I called Conrad, right? Mm-hmm. And because Conrad said he wanted to catch the fade with Adam. And I'm like, why, bro? Like, why the fade? And he was like, man, you didn't see what I saw? I saw it, but I didn't have the same reaction. So he explained to me one thing that I didn't fully catch, I guess, initially, was the insensitivity came from the rush to be first.
Yes. And that's the issue with media so far.
Right.
Think about Kobe. His daughter found out that he was killed in the helicopter accident on Twitter, not from the police at the door, because everybody wants to be first. And sometimes that's where our humanity as reporters, as people in media, have to step in. We cannot rush to be first, especially reporting tragic news. Adam Schefter also rushed in a positive way, rushed to be first to report Tom Brady's retirement before Tom Brady actually said, I'm retiring. So it's just, instead of trying to be first, let's be right. Because how quickly he tweeted that out, he took it down as fast as that and reposted something else as if no one saw that tweet. And you are the football guy. Like, everybody looks to you and Ian Rappaport for football news, trades, deals, everything. So be right is more important than being first, because you don't see Ian Rappaport doing that.
Ian's gonna have his time.
And so
right?
are we.
Like, yeah,
Try to be first.
Ian's gonna have right. Ian's gonna have his
So
time, and thank God. I'm gonna say this. Thank God that we're not as big as those guys right now, because it could be me too, right? Like it could be
so
us too. We
wouldn't
have
that be we should try to work on being right than being first?
absolutely, absolutely. So it's one of the things that I'm gonna think about, right? Like one of the things that we will preach here, one of the things that we'll try to practice here, right? It's doing our best to be right and be correct in the way we deliver, as
Hmm.
opposed to trying our best to be first, right?
Yes.
And so I think that's the right approach in this particular situation. But I forgive the situation, right? I forgive him. He asked for forgiveness, and he didn't just kind of do that. He reached out to his colleagues first, right? Before
Hmm.
he kind of came to everybody else. And so, um I my forgiveness is there. I don't know how everybody else feels. I know people want to cancel him and get him fired. Um
He's not getting fired. But yeah,
he's not getting fired, right? But
he's not
people
getting
want him fired, right? People want him fired. All right, let's get into these sad teams.
Yeah. Let's talk about some failure.
All right, cool, yo. We went out, set out on a mission to make sad teams better, right? Teams that had
Yes.
a horrible last year, teams like the Texans and the Jets. I think those are the two we're gonna focus on, right? Um,
Oh yeah.
we decided to make them better. So we went into the draft. I went into a mock draft simulator and start thinking about ways to possibly make these teams better. Nora, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay, go for it.
The thing that we're going to see at the 2022 draft, we're going to see a lot of offensive linemen go in the first round, especially in the first 5 picks. For the Texans, they need offensive linemen. They are sticking with their quarterback. I don't know why, because the Texans need help in every capacity. But they're going offensive line first. I think they're going with Evan Neal from Alabama. Why not get a Bama boy? Bama breeds offensive linemen. They beat defensive men. So why not get them? So that's why they're going to probably go first. And then after they pick the offensive lineman, they're going to need an edge. And I think they're going to go with if Aiden Hutchinson's still on the board for Michigan, that's like you gotta snatch him. He's a need for Texas, and they also need they need defense, safety, maybe round 2 safety with Jaquan Brisker from Penn State. He's a great tackler. He has great instincts and he is great in coverage. That's necessary for what they need to rebuild in their defensive side. And then they also, I think, around maybe round 3, they need to get a running back. We need a running back in Houston. Okay, Isaiah Spiller is who I think they should go from Texas A&M. He's a strong running back. He also played against some of the best defensive teams in college football. So they need to, like how we talked about, me and C talked about rebuilding the fever. The Texans, this is a rebuilding year because there is no playoffs coming. No. But this is about starting from scratch and building back up.
Look, I like the way you dove in, and I like kind of where you're going with the rebuild situation. My thing is, I want to do a little bit of, reminiscing here, right? Either reminiscing or dreaming, and that's kind of the theme of what I did for the Jets here. At 4, they had the 4th pick. I went with Sauce Gardner, my Gardner from Cincinnati, right? I thought because I'm thinking, bring back Revis Island, right? If you can do it in any way, and a lot of people believe he's the best cornerback in this draft. I don't know. I'm still kind of torn between him and Derek Stingley. But a lot of people believe that he's the number 1 guy here. They wanted fast. Yo, they wanted welcome. Dr. Silva, I see you, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. I'm also looking at Jamison Williams, right? They went heavy after Tyreek Hill. They didn't get him. Why not go after the next best thing, right? At pick number 10, if he's still on the board, I grab him, right? I know we need another weapon. I know we have some, but we don't have enough weapons. I go ahead and grab him. Perion Winfrey at pick 35. I thought to go after him. He killed it at the Senior Bowl. We had an interview with him. He went nuts, right, at the Senior Bowl. And I believe he's a good guy, especially to grab at pick number 35. And then finally, I went running back like you in the second with pick number 38 with Kenneth Walker. So I thought, it was a good way to kind of get them back to where they needed to be. But that's it for us. Anything you want to say, Nora?
No, that's it. Well, we picked 2 of the worst teams, and we're trying to help them out with their draft picks. We'll see on April 28th which way the Texans and the Jets will go, but we will see how all 32 teams play out on April 28th.
Tell me about the experience this week. How has it been?
Been awesome. I think Doug Williams and Shaq Harris, the Black College Hall of Fame, have done a great job of putting events together for these guys, giving them a chance to showcase themselves in front of NFL personnel. So it's been a great week. Looking forward to a culmination of a great week with a phenomenal football game.
How many
What's good, everybody? It's your man, The Voice, bringing you this week's timeout. This is where we take a step back and assess the game of life, looking to guide for strategies to bring us true success. This week's thought: be still. The Summer Olympics were last year, and one of the most lucrative, exciting, and boring sports that it hosts is track and field, specifically running. In my sincere opinion, pardon the pun, Rick, anything at the track that's longer than 400 meters is an exercise in futility. I mean, even the 400 is borderline crazy. I'm sure athletic apparel companies would disagree with me, but I ask that you hear me out. With the 400 and higher, you start at one point and run as strategically fast as you can to get back to the point that you're standing in. Why? I know. Health benefits, test yourself, runner's high, blah, blah, blah. You're already there. You're using all this energy to get where you already are. I'm sorry, it's a maddening concept. What could you have done and accomplished with that energy, focus, and time if you were doing something else? I mean, you're literally chasing the wind. And when it's over, the only thing that changes in the world is that you're tired and you're sweaty. Unfortunately, we participate in many futile activities. Life causes us to feel helpless. Pocket crack makes us think that we've got to do something all the time. And the things that we do really is just waste our resources and accomplish nothing. We get lost in social media rabbit holes or playing games on our phone. So often, we're doing anything, trying to make something happen in our lives. And when it's done, we have nothing but sweat to show for it. Have we sought God? Are we doing what he says? Or are we doing the things that we think that we should do? Even when we do what he says, are we content waiting? Success, money, notoriety. We want it all last week, dropped at our doorstep like Uber Eats or Amazon package. Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God. I'll be honored by every nation. I'll be honored throughout the world." Settle your mind. Pull back on activities. Know that God is in control. We can't make anything happen outside of him anyway. Political, industrial, and social leaders only steward the control that's given to them. They don't have to know God or be subject to him. Their belief or lack thereof doesn't hinder his supremacy or his sovereignty. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that he is Lord. Like gold in the fire, our deeds will be tried by God. Whether good or bad, the only things that will last are what we do for him. So here's the play. Trust God. Do what he says. Rest in him. Whatever we accomplish is because he's given us the strength, the intellect, and the tenacity to do so. It's your man, The Voice, with this week's timeout. All right, time to get back in the game of life. Until next week, ready, break.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. I just want to say The Voice's timeout was amazing, but I just want to say, as a 3-time triple jump and 200-meter runner champion, track is not boring. Okay, so we're going to start our new segment called The Gauntlet, where we're going to put a thing out there. Homie got to defend it, and people got to come at you. So we're going to start with my girl C. She going to defend this, y'all. Henny, like we said, Henny girl will not be a bust in the WNBA. Girl, tell me why she won't be.
She will not be a bust because she just already shows that each year she gets better. Her first 2 seasons, she averaged 5 to 8 points. Her last 2 seasons, she averaged 11.5 points, 3.9 assists, 3.1 rebounds. She can defend. She can facilitate the ball. She has a streaky shot. She was coached by Dawn. Her final season, she shot 40.3% from the floor. 39.9% from 3. She's already in Indy. She's ready to go. She's fueled by hunger and she's very humble. So she's ready to ball. And then her teammates that got drafted with her, yeah, they're ready.
They're ready. Okay. C said it. Okay, Will T. You're on mute. So let's get to it. Because I want to hear what you guys say. You came out spicy with it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
You said a lot of popular words, and I would agree with you. Unfortunately, Indiana, in my personal opinion, had a draft that was all over the place. When you count everything that she's done in college, has been amazing. But you have to also consider she's coming in playing behind 3 other point guards, I believe, Danielle Robinson, Victoria Vivens, and Lindsay Allen. Now, if she's able to make the team, sure. But it's going to be a long shot considering everyone else that's there. The fact that Indiana is already rebuilding, so you bring in a rookie on an already rebuilding team, that usually means disaster. I unfortunately don't see it. I believe she was drafted by a different team, like she should have been. It would have worked out. But coming into an already stacked team of rebuilding, I just don't see it.
Don't you think that's going to fuel her fire already? Because she went 20th in the draft and thinking that she was going to go higher, got to a team that is in the process of rebuilding. She might be the X factor.
And she could be an X factor, but let's honestly think about historic wise how often that actually works out, especially on the rebuilding team. The Fever haven't done anything significant in a few years, and it's mainly because of the issue from bringing in players like Henny when you already have a number of players already in that position. I would love to see her succeed, but they have to get rid of some of those point guards they already have ahead of her so that she has a fighting chance to do so. And I just don't see it with that current office.
Okay, 15 seconds. See, rebuttal.
Well, when she does make the team and when she comes off the bench and she's in, let's say, the second string, you know, and she brings it when they're down by 15 and she comes off the bench and gives them that, you know, that grit that she has and they get back in the game, she going to be a starter.
All right.
I'm looking for it. I hope it happens.
All right, Will, you have 15 seconds.
I mean, I think she's a great player. She brings a lot to the table. She has a great 3-point shot and she plays incredible defense. And she's right. She's very gritty. But it's just a matter of how much she's playing behind and the fact that it seems like Indiana went into that draft with no plan whatsoever.
Okay. So we're supposed to, the topic was defend that. So, Will, you're supposed to say that she is going to be a bust. That's why she won't be. So she going to get to have this W this week for this topic.
For the ladies.
Hey,
let's do it for the ladies.
So we are up next with Conrad. Okay, Conrad. I need you to defend the topic.
What's up?
Will be non-relevant for at least the next 5 years in college football.
I mean, I totally agree, but at the same time, you gotta think about what Northville is building at the school. You have guys coming in there transferring. The transfer portal has changed the whole entire game. You can get that guy that was that was the 5-star that you was looking at. Things didn't go right at the program. Hey, come to Florida State. We'll treat you right. We'll make sure you get set up. We did the locker room looking sweet. We just redid the practice facility. Not only that, implemented more of the nutrition stuff and everything, and we got more restaurants around the city. Not only that, we got FAMU down the road. Listen, Florida State, I wouldn't say they will come back. They won't be irrelevant, but I will say this. They will come back within the next 3 years. Because what like I said, Norvell's building a championship team over there. We got AJ Duffy right now as the second string quarterback, one of the 4-star quarterbacks coming in from California. Not only that, we got another kid right behind him, Chris Parsons. He's another 4-star quarterback at West Virginia, dual threat, highly sought after. This guy can go ahead. This guy can possibly be the guy that takes Florida State over the hump. He's coming in at 6'1", 200 pounds, rocket arm. Also, man, you have to see what's going on with the defensive line with Florida State. Florida State has brought in Mr.
Come on, get 5 seconds.
Sorry, Mr. Verse. And now Mr. Verse is one of the top defensive linemen. Look, Florida State will be back within 3 years. I wouldn't say 5. Irrelevancy, no.
Okay.
Yo,
All right.
that was forever. That took forever. That wasn't even 30 seconds. That was like, am I being muted? Am I muted? I'm not. God.
You're not muted. You're not muted.
It's not. I don't know if it's my turn yet. Is it my
It's
turn?
the
Nora?
Voice's turn. It's the Voice's turn. So, Voice, you believe that Florida State will be relevant for at least the next 5 years.
I
Why?
do.
Now he thinks it'll take 5 years for them to get back to relevant. It'll take at least 5 years for him to get back.
Yeah, it's going to take at least 5 years. I mean, let's see. They've had all kinds of coaching changes, continue to have coaching changes, and not just coaching changes. You talk about the transfer portal. I mean, yeah, they got an old boy from Georgia. Okay, that was nice for last year. But even before they could hit the transfer portal, let us not forget about the decommit that shook up the world. Travis Hunter went to Jackson State. Oh, and then he pulled Kevin Coleman, who FSU was one of his final schools. He didn't even have a Jackson State hat on the table, pulled him over to Jackson State away from FSU. Is like Florida State is a place to go away from. I mean, you even have coaches and stuff that are leaving Florida State and going different places.
How much research have you done with the coaching? The coaching.
Hold on. It's my turn, and then it's Rick's turn.
I understand
you just
it's your
mad
turn,
you getting ready to lose. Conrad, you have been covering Florida State football ever since MTMV Sports' inception, and they were garbage before you start covering it, and they have been garbage since. You said it. As a matter of fact, last year you left them alone and tried to find another team to follow. So how can they get relevancy in the next 5 years when they have been the epitome? I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm making it up. The epitome of it's the epitome. The epitome, though, of inconsistency and instability. That's why I had to put the C on the epitome.
Okay, now it's Rick's turn.
Yeah,
you know what to ask at this point.
listen. They've been garbage since we've started. Only 7 wins the year we started in 2017, right? 5 wins after that, 6 wins after that, 3 and 6 in 2020, and then 5 and 7 last year. So for the last 5 years, they've been garbage, right? And I don't think it's about to change in any way, shape, or form. Voice already mentioned the fact that you're losing recruits to HBCUs. That's historic, right? That's one. Like he already talked about that. The SEC is getting stronger, right? The SEC is getting stronger, and they're getting stronger by the year. And you guys are on the bad end of that, right? We're looking at
the ACC, Rick.
No. I'm saying the SEC is getting stronger, and they're the relevant conference, right? Your conference isn't even the most relevant conference, and you're one of the worst teams in an irrelevant conference. So what are we talking about, right? And you're talking about restaurants. That's great. I'm glad you guys are getting better restaurants. You said FAMU was right down the road. They stealing recruits from y'all, and they're gonna keep doing that because y'all got better restaurants around there as well, right? If I look at Florida State, I look at a sad situation. Until you put all your money and your resources and everything that you got into go and get Dion, right? Because that's probably your only hope. That's the only hope out of this situation. Outside of that, you will be irrelevant for way longer than 5 years. I hate to say that to you.
Okay, guys. Each of you guys will have 15 seconds to, I guess, fight each other. So I'm going to start with 1. Conrad, you're going to start rebutting.
Can't you might go last?
Okay. Voice, you're going to start with why Florida State is trash. Starting now.
Florida State is trash because they are mired in all kinds of inefficiency. They keep either not choosing the right people or not giving them enough time to make things happen. That they're in a state where things don't lend themselves well to the college game. Now the NIL has come into play. They're going to have to change some things there. And like Rick said, they are the number 2.
Okay. Sorry, boys. I don't like cutting people off.
Okay.
All right, Rick, you got yours. 15 seconds starting now.
Listen, if it wasn't for Jermaine Johnson, you guys would be irrelevant even in the NFL draft. And that's never been a thing for Florida State, but it is a thing right now, right? The fact that you're not even producing enough NFL talent is a problem that you're going to see for a little while now. You're talking about all these guys transferring in. I think you'll lose that transfer battle to a lot of these schools that are on the come up. I'm sorry, bro.
All right, Connie, it's time for you to now either destroy them both or yield the sword. Starting now.
Bobby Bowden came in, and when he came in, he came into a situation that was terrible. And Bobby Bowden, he took the time to build the team, and he built to what Florida State is. And I believe that's going to be the same thing that Norvell will do. That's my time.
Okay. Well, it seems like, based off the facts I was just given, that Florida State is going to be trash for a while, longer than we thought. So, you two will advance on to, I believe, the next round of Gauntlet, when we're going to now bring up Will, and we're going to talk about some wrestling. Right? Okay. Will T. So, I mean, all right, should that mean, okay. Will T. So, you're going to defend this statement.
Mhm.
Grown people can still watch wrestling. Or grown can still watch wrestling. So, us as adults can still watch WWE starting now.
Of course, most of us grew up watching with our grandparents, and it was nostalgic. And you're watching people every day watch stuff like Love and Hip Hop and other reality shows. So essentially, you're literally watching a reality show, but it's sports entertainment wise. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that. Another great thing about it is now is that it's not our grandparents wrestling. Like, this is much more cultural wise. You have a lot of Black women now who are really taking over the sport, who are literally champions of the biggest titles in, whether it be WWE, AEW, or New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, I mean, right now, professional wrestling is not only popular, but is becoming even more a part of the culture than it was before.
Okay. You got 10 seconds to keep fighting if you want.
No, I mean, listen, folks watch reality TV every day. So grown people can watch professional wrestling. I mean, we watch sports. That's what we love to do, man. You're going to watch what you want to watch regardless. I know 30-year-old cats that watch anime. I ain't about to judge them for it. Do what you do.
Okay. See, you're going to now.
I watch anime.
That's real. Like, wrestling is serious. Like, that's real. They really, like, when I was a kid, I watched it. I'm not even gonna hold that to you. But now, like, that's real. I try to sit there and watch it. Like, they really hit people.
Yeah, one of the biggest guys in the sports just broke his neck.
That was real, though.
That's real. Whether you believe it or not, these guys are taking, and I know because I'm actually friends with some of these people. They're taking actual bumps, like they're literally hitting their bodies. Granted, the storylines may be made up and it may be created, but what they're actually doing when they're in the ring, that's real. It takes an actual athlete to do that.
It just doesn't look real to me, so I can't get interested in something that doesn't look real. Like, and like, I get it with reality TV. It's not real, but it's drama. Who doesn't like drama? That's why we create this show and have different opinions, because it creates a narrative and there's drama. But wrestling, I mean, maybe because I don't understand it, but it just doesn't show, like, give me realness that these people are really fighting for, like, the title. Like, it looks fake.
When's the last time you watched it?
When they was having some special, there was like two girls and there was a trash can. Like, seriously?
That was two girls in a trash can.
I don't know when that was, but the one thing I'll suggest you to do is go back and watch WrestleMania from last year. It was literally the first time two Black women fought in the main event of WrestleMania, which is literally one of the biggest sporting events.
Are they like jacked up and muscles and stuff? Oh, okay.
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, Bianca Belair was actually a track star, I believe, at Tennessee. You got Jade Cargill, who played basketball at Jacksonville. So, like, these women are literally taking over the sport. They're the biggest thing in the sport right now. It's the perfect time to watch.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'm gonna say this, bro. one time I used to be an avid wrestling fan, like for real, right? And so at one point, this is before my marriage, I bought a ticket down to go to see Raw at I want to say Phillips Arena, right? And so I paid $80, man. I got all the way down right at the very ring. And once I was there, my perspective was changed forever. I finally saw the and, and I was like, what is this? I had to like leave those close seats and walk all the way back so I can enjoy the rest of the event, right? Because it was so fake in my eyes. Like once I finally got a chance to see it up close, it looked so fake that I could never fully overcome it. The next time I went to WrestleMania, I was seated at the very, very top. I went with my nephew, and I went only because of my nephew. I was seated at the top of the Superdome at the furthest possible seat that you can get away from the actual ring so I can restore a little bit of sense of something, man. It is tough as a grown man to watch two grown men fake fighting. I'm not lying to you. It just don't feel the way it should feel. Now, what the voice is paying attention to, I'm down with 100%. But grown men watching two grown men have a fake altercation is a really, really tough thing to sell to me.
Okay, voice, what you feeling?
I feel like what Rick said. One of the reasons I am an avid MMA fan is because it is everything that wrestling portrays itself to be, but they actually hit each other. I mean, now, granted, I know about all of the pain and suffering that wrestlers go through. I know about all the concussions and things that they deal with it. And what they do is real, and it's very taxing on their bodies. But the theatrical nature of it, and the fact that even though in the UFC, Dana White stages a lot of things by who he will and will not allow to get the title, which he picked that up and really got that from Vince McMahon. But in Vince McMahon, he actually gets to make the decision. Dana just says who can and cannot fight, but he can put someone in there, i.e. Funkmaster, who won last week, and be mad that he won because the judge gave it to him and say, oh, they were wrong. If it was WWE, it wouldn't have happened. So yeah, it's I can't deal with it. I do salute the resurgence of it with the women, and they had like an all women's WrestleMania not too long ago, and some other stuff. Hey, kudos, congratulations. But it is not the thinking man's outlet.
Okay, Will T, giving you 15 seconds to just pretty much either shoot everybody's argument down or yield to the sword. Go.
It's a thinking man's outlet. This is $1 billion industry. If you want to see what you feel like is real professional wrestling, I implore you to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling matches, because those matches are literally almost death matches to a certain extent sometimes. They literally tell you when you're watching WWE that this is sports entertainment. It's not supposed to be knockdown, drag out fights like UFC. As a matter of fact, a lot of guys like Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley come to WWE so they can extend their careers instead of being in UFC and continuing to fight. These guys are breaking their bones on a consistent basis. I mean, I love it. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy it.
Okay, you guys heard Will share and try to definitely take on this posse. But as somebody who thought they was Jeff Hardy running down, doing the Swanton bomb off of couches, and finding out that I can really get hurt, it's fake. So the gauntlet will go to C. She won both of her debates, and Rick, he won both of his debates. And hey, Voice, you won both of your debates. So shout out to all three of y'all, because y'all are wearing
I feel like it was rigged.
Away like Thanos, because y'all the winners this week.
Information, research. We got to do our jobs.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, y'all was out here bullying today, man. I want to read.
I know it, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
I want to
like like they like, yo, we're gonna jump Conrad today. Like, word.
In the conversation with C, I won because I was supposed to be talking about why she would be a bust, not why she wouldn't.
But you gave her a lot of love. You're supposed to be like, nah, she trash. But well, yeah, you gotta kill her. But you didn't kill
I want to recount.
We not killing no. First off,
this is
we're not
America.
killing
We're
nobody from the WNBA.
just go with
we'll
the
get canceled. We kill anybody from the WNBA.
Exactly. And the voice is a bully because what you did to Conrad last time, that was wrong. And all Rick did was come in and jolly stomp the rest of us when everything was over. Y'all was dead wrong for this week, and I'm coming back next week.
Show y'all
Y'all came in, man. That's messed up.
That tells me what y'all asked me to talk about. So when we come back, we are going to be saying goodbye because we're ending this week on a high. So we'll be right back.
People get sad when they imagine that God goes missing. Some of y'all have been there. But before we go into that, I want to suggest to you that this year, you and I need to, maybe this is why the Lord gave me this psalm for this day. You and I need to declare a new devotion. Listen to the language of the text. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. We got a deacon at this church who's a fantastic deer hunter. And me and Deacon Nash have been begging to go deer hunting. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All right. I grew up on the far south side. People shoot other worse things, you know. So we just went and he said, well, you know, it requires a lot of safety. You're not going to go out as a novice. I want you to read this book. He gave me a slit out of an encyclopedia on studying deer. And I've been reading through this thing. And I've discovered some interesting things about deer. They're such little beautiful animals too, you know, and when you think about it. They have the highest sensory pickup of any animal in the wild. They can smell you 4 football fields away. They are equipped with a keen sense of their awareness because they are constantly hunted down. Not by guys with guns, but also often just by other animals in the kingdom. And so they have this thing where they are always looking out for predators. They are equipped with the kind of muscle structure that helps them to run really fast. The idea is that the deer lives in constant danger. But they are built to be able to handle constant danger. I'm trying not to preach already. The psalmist understands even this. When a deer feels like it's in danger, it starts to pick up running real fast, but a deer does not sweat much. And so in order to cool itself off, the deer pants when it's under pressure. It cannot sweat much, so it breathes real fast. But when it breathes real fast, it releases its own scent, which creates a trail by which other animals can find it. But if it can get to water and lower its head down in water, the water snatches the scent and the predator cannot find the prey. The psalmist says, as the deer is looking for some water. If you're in danger this morning, God is saying, if you're looking for a refuge, if you can get to me, I can hide you. I can cover you. Is there anybody here today where the hounds of depression have been coming upon you? The mounds of grief have been coming. If you can get to the water, God is able to cover you.
Bruh.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much to that pastor for sharing such impactful words. As those of you guys who are Christian, you know this is the Holy Week. This is the week, and this is the time where we have to look at the ugly side of humanity as we celebrate the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So we are going into our Easter break. Those of you guys who are listening and also are going to your Passover season starting on Friday, happy Passover and happy Easter to all of you. And you'll see us next week at this time, 9:30 on Facebook Live. Check out our show. And until then, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and continue to live beautiful lives. Bye.